Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl Iesha G or whatever, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about something that's been all in my comment box for a long time, okay? Ever since I've started this vending business, a lot of people have been asking me questions, which I never mind answering. But the most commented question that I always get is all about commission, okay? It's always about commission. Everybody wants to know, how much do you pay? How much are you supposed to pay? Are you supposed to pay? Like, how do you try to get out of commission? All of that. In this video, I'm gonna tell you what I think about commission, how much you should pay if you are paying, how not to pay it, because that's the goal. That's the goal. And I'm going to explain what commission is, what you should look for, some things that you should think about when you're talking about commission, and all of that. So if you're interested in this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe before you leave. I would greatly appreciate it. And welcome back to my channel. So I tried to look up the definition of commission, but unfortunately I couldn't find exactly what I was looking for. So I feel like we should all kind of know what commission is. In my words, commission is the amount of money that someone can earn while doing something else. So let's say if you worked at something like at a car dealership. So if you worked at a car dealership, if you sold a car, you get commission off of that car because you sold it, and you get a little piece of it. Or like an internet provider or whatever, and you sign up so many people and they give you a little commission because you helped out with those sales. And that's kind of how it works. So in the vending biz, commission is kind of like that, but not really. When we think of commission in a vending business, we think about, okay, my vending machine is in your facility. The owner, the manager, whoever it goes to, may say, okay, if I let you put your machines in my business and you're making money, I'm gonna want some commission. I'm gonna want a little money off of what you make because it's in my facility and you're using my customers to get your money in your machines. So that's how commission usually works in the vending business. A lot of people always want to know, how much do you pay in commission? Do you pay commission? How am I supposed to get out of it? So I'm gonna get right into that and let y'all know. First off, before I even get into that story, I really want to give y'all this story time, because in order for me to explain how I feel about commission, you will have to understand this story. I have to tell you this story before I can even get into that, so you can understand why I say what I say and where I'm coming from when I give my opinion of commission. Let's get into the story. So this had to be like when I first started vending. So everybody knows that I started vending in February of 2020. This was right before COVID. So COVID-19 didn't really get to the States. Like, everybody didn't really know about it until like March. That's when it like hit hard. Everybody was going crazy and all of that. I started my vending business in February. I had no idea that COVID was coming when I started my vending business. No idea. So I started my business, you know, everything was a little shaky at first, but that did not stop me from going door to door, passing out flyers, giving out business cards, talking to different people. None of that stopped me. Like, cause I'm just gonna put on my little mask, I'm gonna have my sanitizer. Baby, we gonna get this business going, okay? That didn't stop me. So I am the type, like, when I was going through that process of the door, I would, you know, map out this section of the map that I would, you know, hit today. I'm like, okay, today I'm gonna go from this side to this side. I'm gonna hit this shopping plaza. I'm gonna talk to these people at this building. And I had this little thing going on. Before I get into this, I want to let y'all know this is in no way, shape, or form to downplay anybody. You know, I'm not trying to make nobody be a bad guy, but this is my side of the story and this is how I want to give it. So I hope you guys, you know, understand. I hope nobody get their feelings hurt, but this is my side of the story. Every story has three sides of the story, okay? And this is mine. So this day I went to this business. I introduced myself as always. I had on my shirt where it has my name, my business, all of that. had my flyers, my business cards. So I went to this place and I'm like, hey, you know, my name's Iesha and I have a vending business. And I went down, you know, my little spiel of introducing myself, introducing what I'm doing and what I'm trying to do. I told the guy that I was trying to place my vending machine into his business. And I'm not gonna even tell y'all what type of business it was because I don't even want to give it away. But let's say that when I walked in, there was already nobody in there. Like, it was already empty, right? So I'm like, okay, you know, at that point I was desperate. I really wanted to put my vending machine somewhere. I wanted to get them. Like, I was determined to place my vending machines. So I'm talking to the dude and he's like, oh yeah, you know, I'm so proud of you. You're a young black woman. You're doing really good. You're making an honest living. I know you're gonna go far. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's cool. So we made an agreement and he was like, sure, you know, I'll be happy to help you out. I'll be happy because I really believe in what you're doing. I'll be happy to help you. And I'm like, okay, so how much would you charge me to put you know, a machine in your business? And he was like, you know, I'll charge you $1 per machine. And I'm like, okay. At that point I didn't feel like $1 a day for a machine was a lot of money. So I'm like, $30 for a whole month? Okay, that's less than all my bills. Like, I don't have no bill that's $30 a month, period. So I'm like, okay, that's not a bad idea. It's not bad. You know, I got very, very excited. I'm like, yes, I'm about to find this machine. I kept him updated all, like, you know, I told him, okay, that's cool, you know, let me find the machine for you and I will definitely keep you updated. I'm always keeping them updated. Maybe a week to a week and a half pass by and I'm like, hey, you know, I'm just letting you know that I'm still looking for your machine. I just want to make sure that the machine is going to fit perfectly inside your location and everything like that. He's like, oh, okay, no problem. A couple days passed and I ended up calling him just to check in, just to say, hey, you know, how's everything going, you know? And he was like, yeah, I'm out of town, so we'll, you know, talk when I get back. I'm like, okay. A week went by and I called him. I'm like, hey, I know you said that you was out of town, but I finally found a machine for you and I'm ready to place my machine into your establishment for the amount that we discussed. The $1 a day for every machine that's in your location. So I'm like, at this point, I'm just gonna do one machine since it's only $30 or whatever, and that's fine with me. He was like, well, yeah, you know, I thought about it and I don't think, you know, that's enough for me. And I'm like, what? Like, we already had an agreement on what you wanted and the commission that you wanted, the amount that we was going to pay. You said $1 a day every day that my machine is in your establishment. That's what we agreed on. Of course, I didn't say all of this on the phone. Of course, I didn't say anything to him because that's just not me. I'm not going to handle business like that. Regardless of if I feel like you're on some crazy stuff, I'm still not going to handle business like that. I'm not going to let you see me sweat. I'm not going to let you hear me get disrespectful because I don't need that on my name. That's just not me. So I'm like, huh? I'm like, okay, so what do you, you know, what are you expecting? What do you want for commission now? And he was like, let's do $2 per machine every day that your machine is there. And I'm like, $2? So now we're talking about $60 a month per machine. And I wanted to put a soda machine and a snack machine in that location. And I'm like, that's just a lot of money. Because one thing about it, I'll get into that later. I was like, that's just a lot of money. Like, I don't know if I want to pay you $60 on top of whatever I get. Because I didn't even think that I would be making $60 in that location, you know? So I'm like, I don't know about that. So I told him that I would think about it. And to be honest, I had already made up my mind before we even got off the phone. Because first of all, I felt kind of played because I'm like, we had an agreement. We said that we agreed on this price. You said this is what you wanted. And I'm like, okay, yeah. So now that I started looking for the machine to fit your location, you changed up the price. So I asked, I'm like, okay, so may I ask why you decided to change the price after we had already discussed the commission fee that you wanted? And his response was, you know, I have to make it work for both parties. And if you're gonna be getting all the money, then I feel like I should be getting some too. And I'm like, okay, I can understand that. And also he brought up the fact that his electricity bill is gonna go up and it's not gonna be feasible for him. And I'm like, the electricity bill is not gonna go up that much. The vending machine that I had used the same electricity as a refrigerator would. So I felt like he was just trying to get more money, and that's okay. But if we've already discussed something, then I feel like that's what it should be. So long story short, I ended up just, you know, kind of telling him, yeah, I'm good, sir, you know, don't worry about it. I appreciate your time, I appreciate you, you know, trying, but that's not gonna work for me. And I'm gonna get into why it's not gonna work. That's the end of that story. So let me tell y'all why I feel some type of way. Drizzy, off the couch. What's wrong with you? You wanna say hi? Come here. Say hi. Say hello. Say hi, puppy. You see you? This is Drizzy. He's being a bad doggy because he likes attention. And I'm like, baby, I'm busy right now. You have to let mommy work. Right? Let mommy work. Okay? You gonna go be a good boy while I work? Okay. Go play. Go. Good boy. Here's why I was so upset about the change. And it wasn't only because he had changed it, which I wasn't upset about that, because I feel like if you already told me a price and we've already negotiated and we've already talked about something, then I feel like we should keep that. I was upset about the price because, like I said, when I first walked into the building, it was nobody in there, really. But when we started to talk, he was like, yeah, you know, I used to have a vending machine in here a while back, and the whole shopping plaza used to send their customers over to my shop so that they could get snacks, and everybody used to come over here. And I'm like, okay, you know, it's kind of empty in here. But if he says that he's welcoming the whole plaza, which it was a nail shop over there, it was like a hair salon with like different little sections. So I'm like, traffic comes to the plaza. They may not all be in his shop, but it's gonna be some people there. So I'm like, okay, I can get some business somewhere. And remember, this is me just being desperate. I just really wanted a location to place my machines in. So I'm like, first off, the building was empty when I walked in. Every time I went to visit the building, it was empty. And I'm like, I'm not even gonna be making $30, but I can use this location to build up my portfolio, learn a little bit about the business and stuff like that. And then when he switched up the price and he's like, okay, I want double that. And I'm like, sir, you was already pushing it when you said the $1 a day for 30 days. Now you're saying $2 a day for 30 days. That don't make sense. Let me tell y'all something. When you're talking about commission and when you're thinking about commission, you have to add in all the other factors, okay? You got to think about how much your product is going to be, because that has to be deducted from that price. You are not in the business of vending machines just to have fun. This is not, I mean, obviously, well, most people, probably some people maybe, but most people who gets into a business or a skill or something, you're in it to make money. You're trying to get into the vending business to make some money, to make some profit, to get a little passive income on the side. All of that is very good reasons why you want to start a vending machine business. So if you're starting a vending machine business and you are buying all the product, you're stocking up, you're refilling, you're doing all of that, and also giving every single penny and every single dollar to the location owner, that doesn't make sense to me. So say I only get $30 or $25 this whole month because I wanted to rush and be desperate and just put my machine in the location, and I'm only making $25 a month, and this guy wants $30 a month this guy wants $30 a month for commission. And then he switched it and said $60. When he said $60, I already knew that there was no way, because products cost, okay? Products cost. So when you are buying products to fill your machine, your prices for the customers reflect the amount of money that you spent to get those products. because you have to get that back. So after you get that back, you also have to worry about paying the location manager or the location owner commission. And in this case, he wanted $30. If I only made $25, you just basically work for free. And we not in the business of working for free, so that ain't what that is, okay? So here's what I think about commission. I have had a location where they wanted nothing. They didn't want no type of commission. You know, this location, I actually just sold it like maybe 2 days ago to someone else. But this location, these machines have been there for a long time, years and years and years and years. And it was at this, you know, I'll say a dealership. It was at a dealership, and I bought the machines. It was a candy machine and a snack machine. I'm sure y'all seen those machines in another video. It was the come work with me video, and I'll actually put that somewhere up here. But I bought those machines on location, and when I bought it, the previous owner had already told me, look, there's no commission, you're not paying anybody anything, so everything that you make is yours, including the machines. The machines are 100% yours. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. When I paid him the money and I got the location, there was no contract in place. There was no, it was just a word of mouth. Like, okay, hey, these are my machines, but I'm in your location, and we just gonna work it like that. As long as you're keeping the machines up to date and stocked up, and you don't have anything leaking, and you don't have no problems with it, then you're good. I wanted to keep it like that because I'm like, I'm not, if there's no commission, don't ask for it, okay? This is a tip. If the location is not asking for commission, do not offer it. I had that bad, especially when I first started my vending business. I had that very bad because I'm like, as soon as I walk into somewhere, I'm like, hey, you know, I'm Iesha, you know, I want to put my vending machines in your stuff. And this is not what I really say, but this is a little, you know, just for example. But I'm like, I'm Iesha, I'm trying to put my vending machine in your building, and I'll give you 10% of it. And my boyfriend was like, yeah, you need to stop doing that, because some people may not even ask for commission because you're offering a service. This is something they obviously don't have, because if they already had it, 9 times out of 10, you wouldn't even be trying to talk to them to put your vending machines in theirs. If they already have vending machines, that don't make sense. So you're offering a service to them that they don't have. And this is something that could increase their sales, because customers like snacks, and customers like drinks, and customers don't like to be bored and hungry and waiting at the same time. So this is something that they could benefit off of too. So when you're going in, I would not just right off the bat say, hey, yeah, I'm gonna offer you 10%, or I'm gonna offer you 15%, because here's what can happen. You can say, okay, I'm gonna offer you 10%, and they like, 10%, that's not enough. Let's do 15, let's do 20, and you like, oh dang, like that's too much for me. Like, that's too much. I would say, when you walk in and you introducing yourself, I wouldn't offer them nothing until they're like, okay, so what am I getting out of it? And I've had that happen to me, where I'm, you know, doing my sales pitch, and he's like, okay, that sounds good, but how can I benefit off of it? And then that's when I say, okay, well, you know, I'm a small business and I just started my business, so I can offer you 5% of my total sales of the month. And they'll be like, okay, 5%, that sounds kind of low. Can we make it to 10? Which, that's my, 10 is the max. I ain't going nothing over 10, okay? 10 is enough. I'm like, anything over 10, I feel like you tripping. Like, you really tripping. Because, no. No. If I come in and he's like, okay, so what am I getting out of it? And I'm like, I can do $1 a day that my machine is there, you know, and they like, that's $30, okay. What about 5%? What about 10%? And I'm like, okay, 10%. I can do 10%. That sounds good. And then most likely you got a deal. But my whole point is, don't go in offering commission to nobody, okay? Wait until they ask you, because most of the time they probably won't even ask. Most people are just happy and they've been looking for vending machine people, and you just happen to be the person that they stumbled up on, and they like, oh, I've been needing somebody to come talk to me, I've been wanting somebody and all of that. And then they found you. So you walk in and you offering 20%, and now you stuck with that 20%. and you don't even know how the business is gonna go. You don't know if you're gonna make a lot of sales. You don't know if you're gonna make a little sales. So you're stuck with 20% regardless, okay? Now, when it comes to contracts, I say try to do a contract. But like I said, my first location, I didn't do a contract because I had already walked in and I bought the location and nobody had asked me for any type of commission or anything. And I just knew that if I would have said, hey guys, let's do a contract, they would have been like, okay, well, let's add this commission that we want and let's do this. Like, we don't have time for that. We don't have time. These are a few tips I want to give y'all before I go. When you walk in, do not right off the bat offer commission. Let them ask you for commission, or let them ask you what you are going to give to them or what they can gain from you having your vending machines in their location. Let them do that, because you will get stuck in a commission bind. Like, dang, I didn't already offer this and they ain't even want nothing. Some people don't even know that they can get commission off of your machines, so don't offer it, okay? But if you do offer it, start low. Always start low. Start 5%. I can offer you 5%. You want 5%? And they're like, 5% kind of low. Let's go to 10. And you're like, bet. There you go. My max is 10%. I'm not going nothing over that. Period. That is the max. Okay. So, you know, always do contracts if you feel you need to. If they are asking for a commission, I feel like that's even more of a reason to do a contract, because this is something that you guys have already agreed on. You don't want it to be my situation where we agreed on a commission rate and then they want to change it later on. If you have that contract already in place, then you can always refer back to your contract and say, hey, well, on August 19th you said this much, but now you're asking for 20%. That all makes sense, you know? Always bid low. Like, always start off low and then go up to your max. Never offer it right off the bat. If you do, you know, get yourself into a commission rate or whatever, have a contract to back it up, and be careful, because people will try to scam you. Vending machines at this point, it depends on the location, of course, but sometimes you probably not gonna get all the money that you think you're gonna get. Here's another thing before I go. Number one tip, okay, this is, I forgot to say this. Ask for what can we call it? Like a probationary period, or like a trial and error period. Ask for like a trial and error period. I would say this: hey, let's do this, okay? I know you wanting 10-15%, but let's try 1 month. Let me put my machines here for 1 month, and from that month we can agree on what type of commission rate will fit best for both of us. Because say you say, oh yeah, I'll agree to your 20%, and then you only get $15 that whole month because the location is not as busy as you expected it to be. This is why you always do your research and stuff first on foot traffic and all of that. But I think that this is a great way to just do a little trial and error. This would show you if you really want to go forward with this location, and this will show the location how much money you can make from their location. And that way I feel like it's better for everybody, because it's not a guessing game. It's not like, oh well, I probably can make this much, so I can probably give you this much. No, let's try it out. 30 days. If you don't like it, I'll take my machines and I go. If I don't like it, then, you know, I take my machines and I go. It's just that simple. Nobody loses and everybody wins, okay? So that's just how I feel about commission, contracts, and all of that. I hope I answered you guys' questions. Make sure you leave more comments if you don't think that I answered your question. I apologize, okay? I tried to, you know, hit every little base. But if I did not, just send me a message, you know, and I'll try again. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. If you want any other videos, make sure you send those in the comment section. Do not forget to subscribe if you have not subscribed already, okay? I love y'all. Thanks for watching, and peace. See y'all later.